Alright, guys, it's been a long time, but I am here with a playtest. Oh, and I'm hearing myself. I gotta mute the stream on the other screen. There we go. Okay, so a lot of changes. First thing I'm gonna do is go full screen, get a glimpse of different video settings that all work pretty well to optimize for lower systems. There we go. That should go full screen. Yep, and then I can toggle back and forth. And I have to remember to put VSync on. That might not be for every system, but for my system, I need to. I need to make that more obvious that it's on. If you just click off, it goes off, but there's nothing to tell you whether or not it's on. But in the game, it's really obvious. There's a lot of screen tearing if you don't have VSync on. Okay, music is a little bit loud. I can turn that down in the game. I can't do it from the title screen yet. So I'll leave all those max and accept and see how it goes. I'm not going to be using my webcam for most of the stream today because I might use some of the video from this to make a promo video. So I'll edit it later. Depending on the quality, it might not be as good a quality as I want it because I'm streaming. So here we go, as opposed to recording offline. Alright, sometimes it loads up pretty fast, should be a few seconds, but every once in a while it takes like a minute. I'm not really sure why. Might depend on what else I got going on my computer. I'm going to click on the other screen here and open up a tab. Hopefully that doesn't mess up the stream. Oh, there we go. It's gonna load really. Oh, I think it is real time. Sometimes it yeah, it is real time. When I'm in another tab in the editor, it lowers the frame rate to save resources. There's no sound though. There we go. Gonna pause it here. And just sending out notifications on Twitch and Facebook. I totally forgot to do that. I haven't streamed in months. So a couple people might like to know that I'm streaming right now. Alright. Give me one more minute here. Take me a while to get my shit together. It's been a while. Twitch still hasn't fixed their automatic notifications on Twitter and Facebook. It says I'm playing 7 Days to Die. That's not even the last game I streamed or played. You can't change that, I don't think. You just have to let it update itself. It's always a few games behind. Alright, anyway. Shutting that off. And... okay, this is a horrible start to a stream. Hey, Mellows, how's it going? Yeah, it's been a long time, man. Good to see you. Alright, been done a lot of work on the game in the last few months. It's gonna be almost unrecognizable. Well, not quite, but... alright, first thing I'm gonna do is turn the music down a bit. The only audio I can change currently is the music. I'm gonna have different tabs for things like ambient sounds and sound effects and UI effects. We'll go 50. Gotta get my windows over here. The layout of Twitch has completely changed too since the last time I streamed, so I'm trying to get used to that. Okay, I think that's all I need. Just to give an example of the settings in the game. You can actually access these from the main menu too, and they carry over. And I believe they save. There might be some bugs in the saving system where some of the settings don't always save, but I haven't tested every single thing yet. And there's a key command screen right now. It's just visual. You can't change anything. Just basically a little tutorial that tells you what does what. All right. So here we go. This frame rate seems... I should have had a counter on. Seems over 30 at least. Might be a little lower because I'm streaming. But I have tons of materials laid out. Pretty much everything in the game is right in this area just for testing. So first I'll grab bow and arrow. All these can be made too. Made from scratch, but I have them pre-made just for ease of testing. These arrows should go in the right in the quiver. I can't drag them, but I can drop them if I don't want them in the quiver anymore. Like if I want to repair or salvage the quiver. I think just salvage. So my toes there. I added the body so you can see yourself. I also added, well, you can see the proxy character obviously, and the drag system, and also stacking. Rock stack now. There's a few different ways to split it. I think the shift splitting might be bugged. Let's see. Yeah, I think I just unhooked it because it wasn't working right. Before you could hold shift and drag and it would split. I'll have to figure out how to implement that again. But right now you can just split a stack by right clicking and hitting split. And then flopping them back on top of each other to stack. And everything stacks at a different amount depending on what the item is. And it kind of correlates with the weight. I was thinking about adding a system where things would take up more than one space, kind of Diablo style, but I'm not sure if I'll do that. So I'll grab just the basic items first. I won't worry about the blowgun or the sword right now. I do need a spear. The spear is currently the best weapon because of its range. And power. Bow and arrow's pretty good too. But there we we go. Alright, now to harvest him, you can give him a few whacks with a hammer. Hey, Pepple, how's it going, man? There's a random chance on each hit to get the carapace. I got 2. Then with the knife, that gets the meat. Now, he should despawn right now. Yeah, if I let him sit there, it would take like 5 minutes. That's all subject to change. Hey, Enfiend, how's it going, man? Yeah, it has been a while. It's going pretty good. Just doing the first playtest in quite a while. And getting off to a rusty start, just trying to figure out how to stream again. The Twitch layout is all different, and I forgot how to work the streaming software, and but it's working, I think. I think the frame rate's a lot lower than it should be, though, just because I have Twitch and the streaming software on at the same time. On my other screen, 2 videos are running. I should shut those off, but I want to make sure everything's working. Okay, that's where I'm at. Killed a guy, got some meat. I might as well just pick up everything. I can't remember exactly what I had already implemented last time I streamed and did a playtest. So some things I'll go over. I might act like they're new and I forgot that I actually implemented them months ago. Like drinking out of a well. You drink, the bar shows up on the bottom left. And to fill this, you have to be close to the well. I'm just going to test that to make sure it isn't bugged. Yep, find water source, it says. And right now the well is the only water source. I plan on putting puddles and geysers and streams and stuff in the future. And making it rain, which would fill the puddles and stuff, and the wells would go dry if it hasn't rained for a while. But that's getting way ahead of myself. Alright, I'm going to take his carapace because I'm going to make armor out of his shell sooner or later. Might need to get a better angle on him. I think I might have been hitting the hut there. Oh no, it would have made a different sound. It's working. There we go. Also added poison to his tail. If you get behind him, try to do a sneak attack or stun him, or get him poisoned so he's slow and you come up to get him from behind, he'll poison you. It doesn't do instant damage, it just starts doing damage over time. Whereas his head and his claws will do instant damage and almost kill you. So there's kind of a balance there. This plant has the gourds. I changed the color of the blossoms on the gourds. Right now the gourd plant with the orange blossoms have the ripe gourds on them. The plants with the pink blossoms don't have anything, but they're all over just for foliage decoration. Okay, I'm gonna pause it here and shut off the video on my other screen just in case that's affecting frame rate of the stream. So all I'll have up is the chat. I won't know if the stream crashes. But when I go back and watch the stream, I'll be able to tell if that made a difference in the frame rate of the playback. Okay. Now need to get out of this area because it's loaded with spawn points for the enemies. But there's also a ton of gear. Oh shit. Oh, bleeding. Alright, now I can just double click on the bandage. That stops my bleeding. There are the arms of one of the spawn points over there. I'll just go take a look at that. The logic behind this is that the queen Formican is deep underground, and she extends like tentacles up to the surface. So that's kind of the end of one of her fingers. And if you get too close, that'll kill you instantly. But that is where the little Formicans spawn out of. And in the future, I'm going to add a way to disable that so you can jump in and crawl down to the caves. Not quite sure I'm going to make that work yet, but that is the plan. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. It's quite loud again. Oh, didn't mean to just mute it there. I have a quick mute button. Like a little bit, but just in the background. Right now there's only two. Oh, there's three songs. There's a title screen song, and then two songs that play while you're playing. Yeah, just regular song, and then the battle music that I keep thinking is working right, but I keep running into bugs where it either won't stop or it won't play, but it should just play when there's an enemy that's aggressive. Okay, so I need to stock up on food and water, and then I'm going to start trying to get leather so I can make armor. And there's 3 different ways to make leather right now. One is just finding the straps. Like I found this strap. So I can drop it, and I can pick it up, spin it around. I can set it wherever I want. Just in case you're curious, if you try to drop it in the well, it won't. And if it does drop down, there's a little collider just below the surface that's invisible. So there's no way to actually fall down the well or drop stuff. You're actually too big to fit in there. The stuff you try to drop hits a little invisible wall. Oh, that was a little bit of a bug, I think. The drink icon came up. Just gonna let the battle music play for a little bit, make sure it works. It doesn't shut off by itself until it's supposed to. Grab some stuff while I'm running. Oh God, he's right behind me. He gets stunned a little bit when you deal damage to him. Oh, he's creeping. Oh crap. There we go. Not sure where that arrow went. Oh, stuck in his back. Deep. Okay, I'm not harvesting them right now because the way that the mechanics are, they won't respawn as fast. It's all subject to change, but the testing will allow me to mess around for a little bit longer before they come back. Which, when things get more settled, you know, the game gets more stable, I'm probably gonna set it so the bodies stay for quite a long time. And then even after they disappear, they won't come back for quite a while. Like maybe up to a half hour, an hour, instead of instantly if you harvest them, to 5 minutes if you just let them sit there. Well, it depends on balance. Oh, I think I'm encumbered. Yeah, you get encumbered over 250, I believe I said it. It might be 200. And then overburdened at 300. And in the future, I'd like to add kind of RPG stats, you know, strength, endurance, and stuff where you could increase your carrying capacity, stuff like that. But right now, it's just straight 300 is your max. You can still move when you're at 300. It's just extremely slow. So, what do I want to get rid of? Probably drop some of these. Oh, if you double click, it goes max. There we go. You can just hold it and it'll go up to. Alright, yeah, 250 gets encumbered. So I have enough food. I need water though. I can get to another well fairly easily if I dip out of here. And yeah, there's gonna be gourds elsewhere. I just want to get out of this area because it's pretty hot. I'm gonna loot the huts though. Oh, I just realized I'm in the 7 Days to Die stream. I need to change that. No wonder it was saying I was streaming 7 Days to Die on the Twitch thing. Alright. It's been a while, guys. Let me change that. And can't believe I forgot to do that. Alright. Sorry about that, guys, if there's anybody in here looking for a 7 Days to Die stream. I'm just retarded and I forgot to change what I was streaming. So I'm just gonna quick go into Twitch as a viewer and make sure that it's updated. It's pretty funny, I was given Facebook and Twitch, or Twitter shit earlier because they were saying I was playing 7 Days to Die and I didn't think I was. But I'm the retard. Alright, says playtesting the last Makaran in creative. Is that the game? Is there a game called creative, or is there... I mean, I know obviously there's a Twitch channel called creative. The art for it though, the little icon looked like a game cover. Alright, yeah, this is right. There's Bob Ross painting and Monster Cat Radio. Alright, everything should be, well, I shouldn't say everything because every time I say that I find something else wrong. But it's getting more stable. Alright. So I am out of here. On the way out, I'm gonna loot these huts, and I've also added an antelope. He's very evasive. I'm not gonna grab that sword because it's extremely heavy. Well, it's not that heavy, but I'm pretty overloaded here. I just want to make sure I have enough gear to survive and start building stuff. Yeah, Pepple? What do you mean? I'm not gonna need all these branches because I can harvest branches with my hatchet, but it is good to just find them too, to save durability loss on the hatchet. Alright, gotta turn the music back on. And let's see. Oh, that reminds me. The other way to get leather is, other than finding the straps, is to salvage a quiver. And the main way to get it is to kill an antelope and skin it, and then let its hide cure for, I think it's a day and a half, 2 days I have it set at. And if I can find an antelope, there he is. So his horns over the rock. Yeah, I'm here. Oh my gosh. Alright, he is not easy to hit. If I get too close, he runs. I think those are dropping short. That's ridiculous. Alright, I'm gonna go look at the ground to see where those arrows hit. He's gonna take off like a bolt though. Alright. Highlight the arrows by hitting F. They look like they landed pretty close to him, but he isn't a very big target. Oh yeah, I think I had done that before, Pepple. I think you have to put a hashtag, and then I'd put game dev and UE4 and Blender, so when people just searched for Blender or UE4, it would pop up. I think the game dev one actually put you in a separate search channel. Oh crap. Hey, Radapa, how's it going? Yeah, those glowing arrows are just, it's a manual thing. You have to hit F and your arrows glow just to make them easier to find. Wow, it's already getting to be nighttime. It's crazy. Alright, I'm just gonna get out of here and go to... There's 2 other antelope, so I can find him instead of risking life and limb in this area. If I put away my bow, I run a lot faster. Running unequipped is faster than running with any weapon. Made that guy mad. Might as well kill him. They're way too easy to kill right now, but that's alright. And for these guys, you just use a knife and you get feather and meat. There we go. Moon came out. I added 2 suns too. I forgot to show you the second sun. Hey, thanks, Radapa. Alright, I am definitely encumbered. What don't I really need? Don't really need the rocks either. Yeah, I'll just drop these. Might as well make tinder here. And what am I missing here? The blowgun and the sword. Not carrying the sword. I should keep a better eye on the weight to make sure that's not bugged out. I think I have it all settled. Alright. Getting dark. Oh, and I'm cold. Alright, so lighting a torch keeps you from getting colder, but it won't warm you up. And lighting the campfire is the only way to actually warm up. I've completely changed the crafting system too. Oh, I dropped my branches. Great. Where did you go? There you are. There we go. Now I'm warming up. I should have drank at the well, but I'll be fine. I can just drink some water here. I should be able to drink it while I'm in the crafting menu. Yeah, just double clicking. Or right clicking and hitting on the pop-up menu. And if you try to drink when you're already full, it says not thirsty, and it's the same with food. Might as well cook the meat while I'm here. And the reason I did that is because food, and I don't think water does anymore, but the food gives you a little bit of health. So before I added the not being able to eat when you're full, you could just spam a whole crap load of food to get your health to 100%. Now you can't do that. Okay. Alright, out of here. Find that deer. It's gonna be tough to find at night. It's still pretty light. It actually doesn't get that dark. The moon casts shadows. And it stays pretty light out in the open. There's also fall damage. Let's see if I can take some here. I'm at 100%. Hopefully this doesn't kill me. There, it took a little bit. A couple percent there. There's a kind of a broken bone sound effect. It's actually the same sound effect as when a weapon breaks. If you take over a certain amount and one falls, if you fall really far, you hear a crack. And then there's a limit where even if you're at full health, if you fall really far, it'll just kill you. But other than sound effects to give better notification, maybe some visual effects, that's pretty dialed in. It seems good for the gameplay. Alright, there's a deer. Is he stuck? Nope, he's just in his eating idle animation. How did that not hit him? That definitely went over. You gotta be kidding me, dear. Alright, see where those arrows landed compared to where he was. Yeah. Shooting short. Definitely. The arrows definitely fall shorter than they seem like they should. Alright, I'm going to chase him a little bit. Yeah, it's still really bright. It's really not going to get much darker than this. Unless I'm in full like canopy cover. Like here, that's pretty dark. The world is currently set, Ratapaw. The only thing that's random is the movement of the enemies. They're not on a set path. They have kind of set areas that they're in, but they can random or wander randomly in their area. But I do want to add random item spawn locations in the future. Right now they're just where I've set them. Oh, there he is. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, dear. Die already. Oh, I think one stuck in his antler. I definitely have to make this a little bit more user-friendly. He's really hard to hit. Those all overshot, it seemed. Because I was shooting kind of downhill. Hey, thanks, Peppo. Yeah, that's one of the last things I did was add the shader outline. There's two separate parts to it. One is a faint hard edge outline that fades in the distance, basically like a toon outline. Then the other shader is a angle shader, basically the more acute of an angle that a polygon is to the camera, it darkens. And those two combined gave a pretty good effect that I like. Alright. You can actually run them down with a spear. It's pretty tough. Sometimes you run out of stamina before you get them. But I really want to keep testing the bow and arrow because it shouldn't be as hard as it is. It's way easier to hit the formicans with an arrow and the birds. I'm thinking I either got the collision screwed up, where his damage colliders are just tiny, or there's something else wrong. You know, it's still way harder to bow hunt an antelope in real life, but this isn't a life simulator. I want it to be fun too. That thing would be gone before you even saw it 99% of the time in real life. Hey, Bangather, how's it going, man? Yeah, it's been quite a while. Alright, how am I doing on... Alright, I don't have to worry about sleep. I haven't added a fatigue system in yet. One of these days, though. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself before I have a million different things to balance out. So I'm at a point right now where I'm not going to make much more of the game for a little bit. I'm going to playtest and bug fix in just a couple weeks or so. Maybe not even that long, depending on what else I'm doing. But I've been working on this pretty much every day since the last time you guys saw me stream. Every day, all day, almost. And mostly behind the scenes programming. Things like the crafting system and the drag and drop inventory. And mechanics here and there. Alright, that antelope is nowhere to be found. You guys probably saw him. You're like, hey, there he is, and I can't hear you. But Yeah, that was one of the last things I changed. Bang there just a couple weeks ago. It basically looked um, exactly like it did last time, except for the first-person hands in the body. That was one of the first things I added after the last time I streamed, and then I just did coding for a few months, and then I started changing the environment colors. Like I changed the way the mountains are way in the background there, put snow on them, and more ambient fog. And then changed, or added textures to everything, almost everything. And the shaders. I spent a lot of time tweaking the day and night cycle too, which still probably needs some work. The sky isn't as black as I thought it would be by this time. Should have gone completely black. I might have tweaked something that I didn't realize would change the sky color. It doesn't look bad, I just thought that it was gonna get to perfectly black. There's so many different variables that change the way the day-night cycle works. If I change one thing, I'd forget or I don't realize that it changes another thing. Just keeping everything balanced, like when the colors change and when the temperature changed, you know, according to how my body temp is. It gets colder at night. And that can all affect the way that the sun is, and moving the sun position. When I added the second sun, that completely brought everything back to scratch almost. But I also changed the sky to blue during the day. It used to be always purple, but that just kind of got tiresome to look at all day, so I changed it to blue during the middle of the day. Oh crap. And then it gets purple at sunset, purpley pink. And it's supposed to get pitch black at night, but not happening. Alright. Get some branches from that tree. There is an enemy around here, so I gotta kind of be careful. There's a spawn just over this ridge here. No idea where he's roaming right now, though. Alright. My torch burned out, so I need another one. You can repair your torch. If you repair it too early, it's a waste. And then if it goes too long, you can't repair it. But somewhere in the middle, you can, in the middle of its durability, you can repair it and save a little bit of resources. Everything works like that, basically. Drink a little bit. What was I doing? Making a torch. Stave. To make the staves, you just double click on a branch in your inventory, but you have to have... okay, why is... oh, there we go. You have to have the hatchet equipped. If you don't, it says need hatchet equipped. Just to make sure that works, I'll test it. You can unequip your weapon now. It's at about 80% durability. I hope you guys can see that. I didn't check to see if the edges of my screen were cut off. Let me look quick. Whoop. Clicked on the other screen and that shuts the music off in the game. Yeah, it looks like it's perfectly full screen, so you should be able to see everything I can see. Alright. Back here. From this menu I can repair and salvage and unequip. I'm just going to unequip it. It went right here. Move it around, swap it with other stuff. Scroll the inventory, I have all this space too. And I'm just going to drop it. It actually could be in my inventory. You have to have it equipped to actually use it as a tool. So if I try to make those into a stave, it doesn't work. Need hatchet equipped. Equip it. There we go. 2 staves per branch. And then to get more branches, you just go up to any tree. Right now the trees don't tip over. Maybe in the future I'll have that where they, I'll probably just make it where they just disappear first to test it. Then add a a felling animation. Right now there's unlimited wood as long as you have a hatchet, which is fine for now. Let's see, where was I? Where was I at? I just wanted enough wood to start another campfire. So, running out of water. My plan is to get to the other village that's less dangerous and build a perimeter. To show you the fence building that I've added. I plan on adding hut building, where you can make your own hut out of panels and tree houses and stuff. You can see the silhouette of the spawn swinging at me here. You won't hurt me though. Oh, I was gonna make a torch. Forgot about that. If I get too close, he'll kill me, but at this distance, he can't hurt me. Make more cordage. Same way, you just click on the hemp plant and it makes hemp cord. You don't have to have a tool to do that. You can just do it by hand. And what is it? 3 cord for 1 plant. 6 and 4. Yep. Wait a second. Is that? Yeah. So the little guy that lives in there, or spawns from there, is wandering somewhere out there. Man, time goes by fast when I'm streaming and talking. I can't believe it's morning already in the game. When I'm playing by myself, it feels like I have all day to do stuff. Alright, so I must have screwed up the collider on this because I can't jump. There we go. I need to round off the edge of that collider. There's like an invisible ramp with a hard edge that goes up this guy. If you get too close, those things will kill you when they come back. But you can climb on them a little bit. Working on the ruin area. Okay. The area that looks kind of like Stonehenge, is that what you're talking about, Bangather? I've added 2 areas like that now, and then another area that kind of looks like a mass grave site. I think another one of the last things I was working on was getting the timing of the arm swing and the leg walking right. So when those get off, it looks really odd when the both, you know, right foot and the right arm are moving forward at the same time. It's not easy to keep those in sync. I think the torch arm is fine now, though. The weapons get a little bit out of sync, but it's not that big a deal. Even when that's completely off, it still looks pretty natural. Oh, that area, yeah, okay. Yeah, that hasn't changed much, except for the new textures and stuff. And I added darkness in the cave, so even during the day, when you go in the cave or the temple tunnels, it gets dark. So that's the area you're talking about right there, big old floating mountain. It's kind of behind another mountain right now, so you can't tell that it's floating. And then right there, you can kind of see Stonehenge a little bit. I'll go up there, then I'll go down to where the meteor crater is. And I added a whole bunch of downed trees around it. They're kind of splayed out in a ring. But I'll get down to the village and put up a fence like I said I was gonna do. I'm gonna turn the music off here for a while. Right now it's just that same song that plays over and over again. Working on others, I just haven't added them yet. But once I get into combat, I'll turn it on again to make sure the battle music and the ambient music is, oh crap, is not bugged out. I think I took a tiny damage there. You couldn't hear that music at all? Can you hear any sound effects in the game? Because I might not have the sound from my computer coming through. Hey Bart, how's it going, man? That's not good. I'm alright. Trying to get back into streaming here. I've got the game to a pretty testable state. One of my friends in real life has a copy of it. It's just been a couple days, so it'll be cool to see the issues he comes up with, what he has to say about it. And I haven't played any other video games basically since last time I streamed, except for the last few days I started playing survival mode on Fallout 4. It's pretty freaking sweet. I might stream that. Probably don't need my torch anymore. So here we go, other village. It's a bright new day. There's only 1 or 2 enemies roaming around here, so I can get more testing done. You can't hear any sounds, really? Okay, let me try to figure that out, because that's lame. I'm just gonna pause it. The trees are all different size, Bart. So some places they're smaller trees, some places they're ginormous. Okay. Where is... I gotta go windowed mode here if I can. There we go. And get here. Yes, video settings. So why would the audio not be working? Desktop audio. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna keep this windowed for a little bit before I figure out an easier way to mess with other tabs. I don't have the pop-up tab on the bottom of the screen on my other monitor. I used to, but I set it off. Yeah, it looks like desktop audio is not doing shite. Like an hour into the stream and I just figured that out. That's pretty funny. Desktop audio, where do I change you? Settings, audio, desktop audio, device, default, speakers. That should do it, I believe. HD audio. Okay. But now Oh yeah, you should still be able to hear me. Aha, there we go. Should hear birds chirping. And a little bit of residual crickets. In the morning, those should go away. Birds chirping during the day and crickets at night. Alright. Just going to this down. Okay, you can't hear it. Thanks, Bing. That's pretty funny that forgot to make sure that was working. Okay, options. Looks like I'm thirsty. Full screen. I don't think that should have reset VSync. VSync should still be on. I can easily tell just by moving the viewport around. Not viewport, but yeah, no tearing. Good. Okay. Yeah, it's the ambient jungle sounds that are three-dimensional. There's little kind of spawn points for the sounds where if you turn, like if you hear a bird coming out of your left ear, it's always there. Turn the other way, then it's in your right ear. So there's a really, really annoying bird up in that area. It's probably only annoying to me because I've listened to it for dozens and dozens of hours. Thinking about toning down the loud bird chirps. Okay, oh, I don't need both those. I'm gonna equip one and set another one over here. I'll just make this kind of my little hoarder's hut. Make sure the drop mechanic works. Alright, there we go. Sometimes things would end up in the rafters, but I think I changed that. If you held it too high and drop it, I don't know why you'd want to do that. It would go on top of the hut. That should be fine. There we go. I better drink. Yeah, I know, Bart. I hate them birds. I've been staying up really late lately too, like 4 or 5 in the morning working on this. By the time I go to bed, the sun's up and the birds are chirping. Can't get back to sleep. It's pretty funny. So yeah. Food and water, and then I'm gonna harvest a bunch of branches and make a bunch of fencing to show you how the fencing works. Try to loot these 2 huts though. Sometimes the scale feels off because some things are so big, but when I'm in here it feels alright. Like the top of my head would be about where that post is. Just feel really short when I'm down here. A little over encumbered. When you're just encumbered, not overburdened, you can kind of sprint for a tiny bit. If you keep tapping sprint, you can kind of get somewhere pretty fast when you're encumbered, but it takes a lot of stamina. Or it should have. Didn't look like it did there, so I might need to fix that. I'm gonna get to overburdened just to test that, because I'm pretty sure that initial boost when you hit sprint doesn't work when you're overburdened. changing so many things. I think I've left a few things unfinished like that. Making stamina drain higher when you're encumbered. So this is how you get stone and stone shard right now. You can find the stones, and you can break the stone into the shard. But if you come up to a stone like this and just hammer at it, you randomly get either a full stone or a shard. And they go right into your inventory now, whereas before they dropped on the ground. But I like the right into the inventory better. If I unequip this, I won't be able to make a shard. But if I equip it, it keeps its durability. Now I can make the shards, and oh, they're right next to it. Yeah, one rock makes 3 shards. And I'm almost encumbered, or overburdened, so I'm going to hack at this tree. Yeah, there's massive trees. I like the way it makes the jungle canopy really tall. And there's little changes too. The story of the game, Bart? Not really. It's pretty much just a open world, just go till you die. There's gonna be story though. I keep planning it out on paper and in my head. It's mostly gonna center around finding the path to get different items that finally unlocks the way to the queen, and then a final battle with the queen. And once she's dead, the Formicans will quit respawning, but there'll still be a whole bunch left in the world. So then the last kind of objective will be to go exterminate all the rest of the enemies that are still wandering around the world that won't respawn anymore because their queen's dead. And that'll kind of be the end game goal. But there's also going to be indigenous animals that are dangerous too, so just surviving in the world after that will stay open too. So there'll be the kind of mixed in at the same time will be the survival mode and the story mode. So once you beat the story mode, you can keep on just surviving if you want. I might separate those in the future. So now I'm overburdened, the weight is red, and now I walk really slow, just shimmying along. Crouch shimmy. If I hit shift, it doesn't do anything. So that's what you're limited to when you got a whole ton of crap on you. Oh, looks like if you crouch and then stand up, it gives you a little boost of speed. But that's still pretty slow. I wonder why it's doing that. Huh. Weird. Do the crouch shimmy across the map with 2,000 pounds of stuff. Only take a few hours. A little bit, Bart. Yeah, I'll show you what I have right now. Right now it's basically just fences, but I want to add platforms. Like imagine the bottom of this hut could be one piece, and then you could make sections of the wall and put them in place, and then make a roof and snap that on top. Or just like a prefab, you could make the whole hut. And I want to add like a tree house system too, where you can put ladders and panels and stairways up around the trees. In some areas the trees are pretty fun to climb. You can climb up and then jump across the leaves to other trees, and I haven't manually placed that with that in mind. I just kind of found that while I was playtesting, so in the future I might do some more precise tree placement so you can jump around the canopy, like maybe even go across like this whole jungle area just through the trees if you want. Alright, so I need to craft some stuff. Right now there is... the hide curing rack is new. I need the rawhide though. The trap, I made that quite a long time ago. A lot of you have probably seen the trap. It works a little bit different now. And then the barricade, I added spikes under it. Make one of those. And then the short fence. And the long fence is new. Gonna drop some stuff up in this hut. Yeah, optimization is a bitch. Gets better as time goes on, but then I implement like a new system and I have to spend a week or two re-optimizing it. But it's definitely a priority. Holy crap, that looks huge. Pretty sure that's... yeah, that's the right size. Same size as the helmet you make out of it and the actual corpse. Was gonna leave this stuff in the other hut, but did I just say that? It's too far away and I'm overburdened. The meat right now does not deteriorate. It lasts forever, but that is in the plans for the future. Right now the raw meat has a chance to poison you, whereas the cooked meat doesn't. I think if I get close enough, it should drop right on the table. Yeah, there we go. That one didn't. Not that it matters, just tidying up a little bit. While I'm doing this, I'm going to turn the sound back on, or the music back on. Just to make sure that plays right. Ooh, that shouldn't have happened, that dropped through the floor. I think it dropped over the edge. When things drop, they drop in a random spot in a box in front of you on the ground. So that one I just happened to be forward enough up against the table, and the edge of the drop box must overhang outside. And the bow just happened to drop on the outside edge of that box. Alright, one more thing and it'll be good. Drop some rocks outside. Nighttime already. Man, time's flying. No containers yet. That is in the works, though. I'm gonna use a similar system that I use to make the inventory. So you can drag and drop and stack stuff. So you'd open up a container and basically kind of a second inventory will open up in this open space right here. And you could drag stuff back and forth. Kind of going backwards as other games. You know, that'll make containers first and then they'll make the placement like this afterwards. But I really wanted that in, so I figured it out pretty early. Alright. Now, fencing. That. You can drop them anywhere and then you can pick them up later. So here's the ramp barricade. The spikes in the front. If an enemy comes up to this, he'll start taking damage from those spikes. If an enemy comes up to this one, it doesn't damage him, but he can't go through it. Unless he's completely blocked off from finding a way through it like that, then he'll go up against it and jump over it. Which I can't jump over it unless I get a running jump. There we go. And this one, at any time an enemy comes up to this barricade, he'll try to attack it. Didn't mean to pick it up there. So it'll be kind of a battle between the barricade and the enemy, which breaks first. So I usually put these in an area that I kind of want to use as my exit and entrance. Then I'll put another ramp on this side that I can go up and jump over. Or I'll just leave a gap and put a couple traps there. But I'll do that in a bit here once I get more together. So right now you just walk up to it, hit right click, you can spin it with the mouse, and place it wherever you want. And these don't snap. Nothing snaps in the game right now. You can just put it wherever you want and it'll clip and collide with stuff. Fences actually go forward a little bit when you drop them, which I'm gonna fix. So they actually drop where it looks like they should. So right now you have to place them back a little bit from where you want them to go. Kind of weird. Hey, Nadia, how's it going? The barricade with spikes, a setup function that gives it like a small delay to set up. Oh, possibly, yeah. I'm kind of trying to stay away from loading bars, so I might do something else. Like instead of just crafting it, there might be a little thing where you have to move items. Almost like a little puzzle that takes a few seconds to do. I just like being able to do something, to craft something, even if it takes a few more seconds than just sit there and look at a loading bar. Even if it's only 2 seconds, you know. I don't know, it depends. Like 7 Days to Die used to have a system kind of like that where you'd open up your inventory and then there's a grid and you had to place things on that grid in the correct pattern to craft. And for some reason they changed that. I don't know if people didn't like it or if they just decided they didn't want to do it. Gotta get rid of more stuff here. I'm gonna make more fences. So we'll see. I'm gonna go fill those first. Those should get heavier when I fill them too. Yeah. I'm actually gonna drop everything to make sure my weight goes back down to 0. If it doesn't, I know that there's something buggy we'll have to look for. Could've just double clicked those, I keep forgetting. Here we go. Alright, I'm gonna leave these all here. Ooh, that was a weird light change. Things all of a sudden flash to a bluish color. Change that to a more of a well, it already is set where it should be smooth. I think the transition just changed too early because of some setting. During the day there's like a pinkish reddish ambient light, and at night there's a bluish purplish ambient light. And in the past I had those set so they blended into each other perfectly, but something must have got changed. So there you can see everything drops kind of randomly now. Very reminiscent of other games. Whereas prior they'd all drop in the exact same spot, so it would look like one. Pick up one and move it, and there'd be a stack hidden under it. Oh crap, I'm freezing. Alright, here's another new thing I added. Oh, it's not gonna work. Where did I put all those stones? I can make a fire ring first, and then when I craft a fire in it, it lasts 3 times as long. Start to freeze real fast at night, so I'm losing quite a bit of health. Stone ring, not good. I could just get up my torch. No, if I got up my torch, it wouldn't help. Once you're freezing, the torch won't keep you from losing health. It just keeps you from... Oh crap. Yeah, I had 12. It just keeps you from getting colder. There we go. Craft that, and... Fire. Oh, it disappeared. Where did it... Oh, I didn't set it down? Oh, I forgot to set it down. I forgot before I had it, so it would just... it would appear on the ground when you crafted it. There we go. Now it's on the ground. Pick it up, move it around if you want. And then you craft a fire by it. There we go. If you don't move, it centers perfectly, but I moved it. So it doesn't center, but it's still working. As long as it's basically within a cylinder collision. It's the same size as about the center of the rocks. If that makes any sense. That'll work. And now I shouldn't be able to pick it up. Yeah. Just before there was kind of a glitch where you could pick up the fire ring, move it, set it somewhere else, build a fire in it. But now it should be all not exploitable. So that fire's gonna last 5 minutes, this one will last 15. Gourds. This one I can't eat because I'm full, so it says not hungry. The agave I think I can eat though. No. Just water. Fire doesn't hurt you either. In the future it will. Right now you can just warm yourself on it. Get a little toasty. Okay, thanks, Naughty. Oh yeah, I see what you mean, Bart. Yeah, you can right now, actually. If an enemy's running at you, you can just turn around and flop a barricade down. So I totally see what you're getting at there. Okay. Health bars and all that stuff are back to normal. I'm gonna drop... Whoop. Okay, yeah, I can't light my torch because I don't have the tinder bundle burning. You can't light it directly with the bow drill. I can just make a tinder bundle, but to save it, I'm gonna light the torch by the campfire. If you're in proximity of a campfire, then the torch will just light. And I think if I put it away, yeah, it goes out. Pretty sure it all works logically. Let's see, if I drop the bow drill, make sure that, yeah, durability stayed. Drop that. Now I shouldn't be able to make, well, if I put the torch away, I shouldn't be able to make hemp into cordage, into tinder bundle. Oh, I can, but I just can't light it. Yeah, I need bow drill, campfire, or lit torch. So if I go up to the campfire and try it, there we go, it lights it. I don't think I can unequip this to test it with a torch, though. Nope, that's one thing on the belt that doesn't do anything when you click on it. It just stays there and it slowly burns. So next time that goes out, I'll try to remember to test lighting the lighting the tinder with a torch when I don't have a bow drill equipped and I'm not by a campfire, to make sure that all works. I'm pretty sure I've tested all that extensively, it's just been a while. So I just want to double check. So keep that on. Hey, thanks, Naughty. Alright, take care, we'll see you around. This little fire pit does the same thing too. If you build a fire in it, it will last 15 minutes instead of 5. but since I already got 2 going out there, I don't really need one here. Doesn't really seem to be affecting frame rate either. It's pretty smooth, even when I have both fires going and the torch. Which is good, because when I'm testing in the editor, the Unreal Engine editor, that drastically affects frame rate. But that's a known issue with the Unreal editor, is it causes huge lag in testing when you're testing within the game creator itself. So there we go, that one out. This one should stay 10 more minutes, or about that. If it goes out in a few seconds, I'll know that it's not working right. Firing anyway. Alright. My mind is going in 12 different places now. I can't remember what I was doing. The torch went out, so I'm gonna make a new one. Don't really want to get caught without a torch. 2 of them. As long as these are yellow, I can repair them if I have the stuff in my inventory. I need stone, cordage, and a branch. I have the cordage. I need the stone and the branch. Once they get to red, then how does it work? You can't repair it. You can only salvage it. I might have said it where you can't even salvage it if it's red. You just have to destroy it. Maybe not though. Can't remember. Make sure yes, bang. Good idea. Alright. I'm just gonna spam drop everything right here. It's a little bit tedious, but it's not often in the game where you'd want to just drop everything. I might add a drop all quick button here, so I don't have to go double click on that. A little pile of goodies. So I plan on using possibly some of this stream to make a demo video, which is why I'm not using my webcam, if anyone was wondering. It's because I've never not streamed without my webcam. I was gonna say I might play Fallout 4 later today and then I'll use my webcam, but I don't think I'm gonna even then, because I've been watching a lot of permadeath. Oh, that's kind of fucked up. I have to change how that sets. I've been watching a lot of permadeath survival mode streams, and I like the ones better where they don't have a webcam. It just seems more immersive. So I think I'm going to do that and upload them to YouTube, make a little YouTube playlist of a survival permadeath run. Okay, salvage that. What did I get? Oh, stone ship. That was odd, because that's the only things I had left in my inventory. I got one of each. Alright. Get cold, not standing by the fire. Hey, thank you very much. Etienne? Is that how you pronounce your name? Sorry if I butchered it. Alright, now unequip all these and drop them by the fire. This I might put a little pop-up menu on the tool belt too, kind of like this in the future. Right now this is part of the old inventory system that I kept and integrated the new one into. I should have went away there. That I'm not going to be able to on equips. I think it weighs 0.5. I can pick another one up and check. Alright, now I can drop that. Hey, Yosef, how's it going? It's not quite finished, but it's in a pretty good alpha test state. I, I think right now I'd say that it's crossed from pre-alpha to alpha in my definition anyway. Long time before I'd call it beta though. All right. So I need to drop all these feathers. If anyone just came in and they're wondering why I'm just dropping everything, I'm testing the weight system to make sure it equals back out to 0. It might not. Which means that I made a mistake somewhere where weight isn't being added when I pick something up, or it's not being subtracted when I drop it. Alright, we have 0.2 left. I thought that weighed 0.5. We can test that out here. Just need to find plant. And that weighed 2. Break it down into 3 cord. Did that increase in weight? That doesn't make sense. I think it did. Because I used to have it only make 2 cord, and then I thought, oh, why don't I make it 3? And then I didn't realize that I'd forgot to balance out the weight for that also. So when you break down the hemp plant into cord, it actually gets heavier. I'll have to change that. That's probably the first thing. That's pretty good. I haven't run across a bug that's made me pull up my pencil and paper yet. So that'll be the first thing I change, is balance the weight out of breaking a hemp plant down to cord. Hemp to cord. Weight balance. So that's not really broken, it's just not really logical. 5.2, make that into 2 tinder. The weight stayed the same, so that kind of makes sense. I'm just using the same material, changing its form. Drop these. Drop the hemp. And yeah, something's not right. Something is not right. Drop 1. That went to 0.5. Or subtracted 0.5. Drop this, this should go to 0.2. Alright, well hopefully that would be odd if that was the only problem, because I just kind of randomly ended up, well, I guess I didn't randomly end up with a tinder. That's just the only thing that I can't unequip once I've equipped it. But if that's the only thing that's causing a weight issue, that is quite odd. So what I'm guessing is what happened is that where I programmed the weight that's determined when you equip the tinder, I set it at 0.2 instead of 0.5. Which, yeah, I'll change that. If I really wanted to make it realistic, I'd have the weight of this tinder bundle slowly decrease as it burns. But that's getting pretty anal. So right now I'll just change it so when you equip it, it stays at 0.5. Alright, tinder to 0.5. Other than that, I think the weight of everything else should be working fine. Oops, I need to pick up the quiver first. If you pick up arrows before you pick up the quiver, obviously they just go in your inventory. Did I pick up 2 arrows there? I swore I picked up 2. Anyway, now subsequent arrows I pick up will go right into my quiver. Yeah, Bart, I plan on streaming it quite a bit more in the future. Like, you know, right now hopefully I'll stream it almost every day. You double click an arrow there, it goes into your quiver. Just because I'd really like to start promoting the game more now that I've got it to an alpha testable state where I wouldn't mind other people playing it. But the route that I go for that is yet to be determined. It kind of depends on more information that I find out while just researching. I'm thinking of either trying to go straight to Steam Greenlight, or possibly doing a small Kickstarter. But we'll see. If all else fails, I can just set up a website and sell it straight from there, but having some marketing help through Steam or Kickstarter would definitely help. So that fire seemed to work just fine. Lasted 15 minutes. Gonna start another one though, because it's nighttime. But I need the hatchet and the wood. Can't see where anything is. Might have dropped some branches somewhere. I don't recall. Oof, that torch seemed to... Yeah, the wield animation didn't quite work on the torch or the hatchet. Something reset that. Should have raised up slowly like that. Just appeared. That was kind of weird. I'm gonna note that down. I've had that issue a few times in the past too, but I've always fixed it, but it seems like there's other things that cause that to happen, so I have to change the scripting in more than one place. Wheel pop up. Not that big a deal. Yeah, I know the crickets. The crickets, man. Sorry if I'm missing some of the chat. If you asked a question and I didn't answer, you can repeat it. I won't hold it against you, because I tend to ignore chat unconsciously sometimes. I'm thinking about stuff in the game. I will go fight something, definitely. What I was gonna do now, though, before I do that, I want to make a few more fences. Grab a little more food. I'll eat most of this junk. The agave you can just eat straight, or you can fill a gourd with it. Pineapple you just have to eat. I guess I could make it where you could juice the pineapple, but right now you can just juice the agave. I think it gives you, right now it gives you a little bit of hunger and thirst when you eat it, and if you juice it, it gives you just thirst, a little bit more thirst, but then no hunger. And it should be less weight too if you combine it. I know I was thinking about doing that, I'm not sure if I actually did it. Here we go. Full water gourd filled with agave. That should say agave filled gourd, because that's all I can do with it right now. Empty gourd. In that craft menu, I mean. It's probably hidden in that pile somewhere. I don't want to pick it all up right now. That's where a container with an inventory window would come in handy. so I can actually grab what I want. Right now all the pickup colliders are overlapping, so we have to pick up 10 things to get to whatever's at the bottom. Let's see, I need to make the empty water gourd. Right there, I have the stuff to make it. Do that, and then I can make the full. So it's at 777. And yeah, it gets 2 pounds lighter when you juice the agave. Yeah, it weighs 3 pounds. So basically, yeah, if that's, I'm thinking about that right, that That's how it works. You juice it. It's like 2 pounds of dry vegetable matter and then a pound of juice. So that gives you more incentive to use the agave in the gourd instead of just carry it separately and use it for a little hunger too. So the benefits of both ways, really. Alright, don't need that. Letting that burn out for no reason. Make a few more fences, then I'll go try to find the enemy. Which I will, in the future, have it set where you can roam all the way to this village, but right now I have it set so the edges of their roaming perimeter won't get to this village, just to give me a place to go screw around and test like I am right now. But if I recall, there should be two spawn points that way, kind of 4 corners. There's one there, one about that way, one over there, and one over here, all in this jungle valley area that I'm in. Yeah, I'm gonna need a lot more wood. One thing that's gonna take a while to balance is the time it takes to get wood versus what you can craft with it. Now, oh shit, that was loud. Right now it might be a little too grindy. You have to sit there and hack at a tree for quite a while to get enough wood to build just a couple fence pieces. But that's alright. Actually might have been a better idea to build the fences in the starter area that's really hot with enemies, because I could demonstrate how they work, how it affects battle, better than here. I believe I could lure some enemies here, but that'd be kind of tedious. So yeah, that's how that works. It just sets wherever you want it to set. Kind of clips in a little bit. Like I said, I need to change it so it doesn't pop forward. Write that down. Don't add woodpeckers? No woodpeckers yet. Just those crazy birds and bugs. Which I think I'm going to tone down. If you think it's annoying, go ahead and tell me, because I think it's annoying. I don't know if it's just me because I've listened to it while I'm testing the game all the time. Maybe it's not as annoying to a new person to the game as it is to me. Let's drop placement. You know what I mean? I like the sounds, but you can only hear the same sound over and over and over again for so long before it starts to make you an insane person, you know what I mean? Okay. Little food, little water, and then I'm out of here. I do need a hatchet, but I'm not gonna... Oh yeah, I need a hatchet right now. If I don't, I'll end up freezing to death. If I have one, I'll just grab it. Yeah, there we go. And I could make a little armor. I'll show you how that works. A little leather, a couple armor pieces. I'll need cordage. I already had cordage, so I'll break those plants down into cord. And I'll make the greaves. Not the gauntlets. Greaves for the legs. There we go. And there, they popped right onto his legs there. And what that does is mitigates a little bit of damage. It's about 7%, I believe, for each piece of armor. And then there's a durability loss too. When an enemy hits you, it randomly chooses an item. I believe the helmet and the chest has a higher % chance to lose durability. But you can take quite a few hits. Then it shows up on your body too. See, it's just poking out of the feet there. His legs look a little funny because he's got the extended feet, backwards looking knee. kind of crazy animal legs. Alright, enough bullshitting around. I'm gonna go kill something. Well, that's alright. Then it probably doesn't bother you, Bart. You're already insane. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought it seemed. Sorry, I didn't notice if you had mentioned how to pronounce your name. Etienne. There's two birdies just chilling there. I'm gonna turn the music on, just to test the battle sounds. Battle music kicks in when you get aggro. Sometimes it kicks out too early when you still have aggro, and sometimes it doesn't kick out. It might be fixed now, but keep messing with it. I'll actually piss him off first. Turn the music up a bit. They're just gonna sit there and warn me. Which is fine. They'll follow me for a little bit, but if I back off, they'll finally lose interest. And they won't follow me anymore. But they're just guarding their territory. But if I get too close, they should come at me and scratch my face, and should trigger the battle music. There we go. Yeah, he's angry. Alright, they're both angry. I'm just gonna kite him for a bit. Which you can do pretty much indefinitely until you run out of stamina. You're screwed. Yeah, I realize it's pretty loud right now. I can turn it down a bit. Just making sure the music cues work. I'll go back to no music after a while here. There we go. It shouldn't be so loud now, and I'm a bit closer to the mic. Wasn't that loud? Got some mega speakers on your computer. Alright, that one lost aggro. So, he's not close. Oh, dang it. His death animation is bugged. Alright, I know exactly why too. I forgot to finish his animation blueprint. And yeah, the battle music's gonna go on forever now. Not because the music code is bugged, because the death code, the death scripting on him is bugged. Not bugged, just unfinished. I've made a lot of changes to the scripting of these birds, but I've only updated the ones up by the starter area. I forgot that I didn't update these. So he's gonna die standing too, I bet. Nope, he died. Fell down. Okay, that's odd. Why didn't you die? That confuses me more than anything, that one died and that one didn't. Oh, that triggered the battle music to stop, though. So, I'll just note down. Make sure all birds are updated. Death anim on the second tier bird. Second tier just meaning the second tier down from the starting area is just kind of how I've always labeled them. There's basically three tiers and then the floating temple. Okay. He's probably not going to respawn either. But it's good. That's why I'm testing, to find bugs like that and get a list. Alright, I'm going to mute the music again. Seemed like the cues worked. Little bamboo harvest area. I need a drink. And eat so I can heal a little bit. Eating gives you a little bit of heal over time too, not just an instant boost, but heal over time. And different foods give you longer heal over time too, and will heal more per tick. The meat right now is the best, and the fruit and veggies. Still good, just not as much, just because it's a lighter food, less calories in it. Basically, is how I kind of determined how the heal and the heal over time works. I thought how many calories that chunk of food would have. Alright, roots, obsidian. I'm gonna have obsidian chunks, you know, randomly throughout huts and stuff, maybe sitting out in the open, but most of it's gonna have to be harvested by going deep into the cave, which is up by the starter area. Didn't show that yet. Let's see, what's my weight at? Yeah, I'll grab that. I really need to keep better track of my durability and repair those items before they break. You can hear the clicking of the bad guy. There he is. Hey Milky, how's it going? Yeah, a few loose feathers, fine. I'd actually thought about doing that. It's before I changed the way the harvesting works. I don't really need to go down there and show you. I can harvest this guy. On the bird, you take your knife, which is about to break. Crap. And I don't think I can repair it. Oh, that doesn't matter. Take your knife and hit the corpse like that. There's a chance to loot it. But before I added that mechanic in, the loot would just drop on the ground as soon as you killed the enemy. It would basically just appear on the ground under them. And I was going to add an animation so that it would like pop out and fall out with physics. Fall out of the body instead of just appear on the ground. But then I decided to go for the straight into the inventory effect. But that doesn't mean I can't add that animation. That would actually work out pretty good. With the animation's already in there. Yes, Milky. This is the game I've been working on for about a year now, a little bit over a year. I started researching Blender and Unreal about last March of 2016. And then about May and June, I really started creating the first things in the Unreal Engine. So it's about the year mark right now. Actually, I think that he probably came from this spawn point. So if I want to find the other one... Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I really like Blender and Unreal. I tried a little bit of Unity, and also the Blender game engine, which is pretty cool, but not nearly as extensive as what I wanted to make. Yeah, so it's going to be about 5 or 6 minutes before that other one respawns because I didn't have the knife to fully harvest him. So he'll sit there for a while, giving me a chance to go back and harvest him if I want to. But there's another spawn point over here. Yeah, I did, Milky. The reason I decided on Unreal is because I'm not a coder, and I was going to start to learn basic code, and then I discovered the scripting system, the visual scripting that Unreal has, and I went that way instead. It appeals much more to my brain. The way visual scripting works. I mean, I'm basically learning a form of coding by learning blueprint scripting in Unreal, but it doesn't translate to anything else other than Unreal. It's definitely helping the workflow. And for what I want to do, and not even just for what I want to do, but you can basically do everything, almost everything. There's very little that you can't do with blueprints that you would need coding for. Don't know if I said that right. It's hard to talk and play at the same time for my brain. So every time I come to find this guy, he always is hanging out in this corner. Even though his wandering perimeter should cover nearly half that jungle out there. I'm gonna have to double check that. He just likes to hang out over here. Something I did wrong somewhere. Did I just get 2 heads from him? That's not supposed to happen. Alright, he is bugged as hell. I gotta write that down. Alright, just writing down Formican, second tier corner, harvest is wrong, and his wandering is wrong. It's probably another case of I scripted it right on the enemies in the starter area, but I forgot to do it to these guys. They all have separate blueprints and separate animation BPs. There might be a different way that I can do it. I know you can make one master blueprint, like all my pickup items are all linked to a master blueprint, where if I change one thing on the master, it affects everything else, which can cause some issues, but it makes other things easier. It really depends on the situation, whether you want all individually scripted blueprints for each unique item or enemy, or a master blueprint that you can link to multiple childs. But the way that I have the enemies working is I can take any of them and I can basically duplicate it and just change a handful of variables that have to do with where they spawn, where they can wander. But even just doing those simple things, there's quite a bit of nodes that I have to rewire on each blueprint that have references to like the saving blueprint, save game blueprint, and their own animation blueprint that they're linked to. So even though it saves a lot of time to duplicate it, it's still a little tedious. And I've actually attempted to use the master and child blueprints for the enemies, and I can't get that to work as efficiently as I can with the items. But there could be something that I'm just not doing as efficiently that I just don't know. So, a lot to learn, but it all works. And I do keep revising things as I learn and figure stuff out for myself. Oh my god, what is happening? Oh, I'm dying of thirst. Yeah, over time. Things will become more efficient. Oh, hey, Eli, how's it going? Sorry I didn't notice you. Not, paying attention to chat as much as I should, like usual. To start a fire to warm up. And instead of going back to the other village, I think I'm just gonna run to the third village so I can get there before I dehydrate to death. I need to eat, get that heal over time, and squeeze some juice out of the agave. Oh, I can't because I need a knife. Screwed. Alright. Should be able to make one if I get a... oh my gosh. That's that's really not good. Alright, I had grabbed another stone. Actually, I can make a shard there. Then I have the cordage. Now I should be able to make a knife. I have the hatchet to make a stave. Knife. There we go. Then the agave juice and the gourd, which will give me more thirst. Alright. Hey, thanks, Yosef. It's cool to see you again. We'll definitely be streaming more often in the near future, hopefully every day. I'll probably break it up a little bit. I want to do a Fallout survival stream too. And a bunch of other survival games. Helps to give me ideas for this, and just breaks up the stream. And I haven't hardly played any games in like a year. I'm going through withdrawals. It was like November of 2015, the last time I had played Fallout 4. Freaking crazy, like over a year and a half. I just started playing it again a couple days ago. It's drastically changed since then too. The survival mode is really cool. They hadn't implemented the hunger and thirst and fatigue the last time I had played. It's not perfect by any means, but I mean that's all, you know, relative to individual preferences, I guess. But I like the way it is. Way more than before. Or before survival mode was just, I think it was just you could only save at a bed, basically, was how it started. Just made saving harder. Alright, I am in a little bit of a pickle here. I need to either find gourds. I think that's, yeah, there they are. Saw the orange flower. So this will give me a little juice. Not juice, just helps. Ups the thirst when you eat them. But I'm almost full, so I can't eat too many. Not hungry, crap. So, if I was really... I mean, the smartest thing to do would be to go back to the village I came from to get a drink, but... I'm feeling like... wandering aimlessly a little bit. Oh crap, I forgot to put stuff in that hut. Maybe I just decided not to. Oh, I haven't played Fallout Shelter forever. Steam said last on Steam was 45 plus days. Yeah. I saw a thumbnail for that Far Cry 5 trailer, but I didn't watch it. I actually thought it might have been a troll. Is it real? Is that actually coming out? That'd be cool. Yeah, I think I played 7 Days to Die back in like December once with a friend. Brought his laptop over and we played multiplayer LAN. And then I played Star Conflict a couple months ago and I got really drunk. My ma was here, she spent the night and I was drinking and she fell asleep and I got the urge to play video games. I stayed up all night drinking more and playing Star Conflict. It's kind of was an odd night. So I'd rarely drink and I'd rarely been playing video games. And then I think, what else have I played? Oh, I played WildStar. I tried that like in January, I think. Played a couple hours. But other than those 3 times, maybe another time or two that I can't remember. Just haven't played anything, just been working on the game. And decided to try the survival mode in Fallout 4 a couple days ago, and I've already put like 20 hours into it. And I had to reality check. Get back into working on this. I remember when the first Far Cry game came out, it was awesome. My buddy was like, dude, you gotta see this game. We were both like, holy shit, that's awesome. Still is a pretty cool game. Alright. I thought I was gonna find enough fruit to cross the mountain there, but I'm gonna need to go back to the well in the village and stock up. The vegetable gathering pickings are pretty slim out here and hard to find in the dark. I know for a fact there's dozens of pineapple and dozens of gourds. And agave is I started putting that on the edge of the map. I forgot. It kind of grows in the mountainous areas. That would have been the best bet, because I could have quenched my thirst a lot better with the agave. This is good, though. Good test of mechanics balancing the environment. Is really taxing right now. I'm not really worried at all about enemies. I'm worried about freezing and dehydration and starving. I lost my bearings, but I think I know where I'm going. Yeah, there's kind of a cut path here that takes me back to the village. Yes it is, Etienne. It's a few, two-dimensional animations. I think there's 6 or 7 polys that it's on. They're at different angles, so it looks three-dimensional. It's the, crap, where am I? There we are. It's the particle system in Unreal, but I changed a lot of it for optimization and the visual. For me, anyway, just the basic fire particle effect that you can start is really unoptimized. It might be different now, though. I haven't updated the engine in quite a while. Probably gonna stick with this version to keep it stable. So yeah, the particle effect system in Unreal might be better than it is now, but I've got it working pretty good. And that might change too. I actually kind of want to make that fire look less realistic. I know it doesn't look perfectly realistic right now, but I might want to make it look even more cartoony, more stylized. Stylized is a better word. Doesn't sound as childish as cartoony, does it? Torch. Oops, already had 3 made. No, I actually haven't worked with the billboard effects at all. I'm pretty ignorant to how those work or what they're even used for. I just haven't taken the time to look into it. Okay, gun. I have a bow. It's gonna suck when I run out of bows. Those are pretty tough to find the equipment for them right now, for the crafting materials. Meat. I know I dropped meat somewhere. Grab these arrows. Grab that knife. Sword isn't that important right now. Sword is basically just flashy, but not too necessary. The spear is actually a better weapon than the sword. I want to change that in the future, though, to make the sword a little more powerful. But the reach of the spear is just awesome. That makes it the best weapon, besides the bow and arrow. But the thing with the bow and arrow is they're hard to refresh. Hard to find the materials to craft, where the spear is really easy to make. Not quite as easy as the knife and the hammer and the axe, which just uses a regular branch and stone and cord. The spear, you have to find the bamboo. Alright, now I'm gonna cross the next mountain, go down to the 3rd tier village. Plan is to make it up to the temple. Boot around there a little bit, go down into the maze, check how the frame rate and everything is working. Going the wrong way. I was gonna go up to the Stonehenge area. No, maybe I'll do that. I'm gonna take... The path I was gonna go through is a little more populated. This area is a little emptier. So you can tell right now there's no grass, there's less foliage. But it is what it is. It's in progress. There is a fully populated route all the way from the starter area to the temple. So I could have just walked that whole route and been like, yeah, see, the world's completely finished. But it's not gonna lie. There's a lot more world building, landscaping to do. But now that I have most of the mechanics, the base foundation of the mechanics in, I can spend more time just putting down plants and trees. And I like to do it by hand too, everything except the grass, which is I still kind of do that by hand. I use a paintbrush tool, which can, you can put down hundreds within a couple seconds. But some people will just use the paint bucket tool, which instantly fills the entire world. the way that looks. I like to kind of place everything. And the way that I have the trees, I can't just paint those down. I have to drag them in or duplicate them. Forgot I can put away my torch. There we go, now I can run faster. Well, this gives you a little bit of an idea of how big the world is anyway. It's not Skyrim massive by any means, but not that that's the biggest game out there, but man, just playing Fallout 4 the last couple days makes me feel like this map is tiny. It's pretty big though. Big enough to start with. Maybe even too big for my first game. But I didn't want it to be just a dinky map. So now we're really getting into open space. There's no rock. That spawn point right there isn't even working. I guess I shouldn't say it's not working. The spawn point itself is working. There's just no enemies coming out of it. It still moves. It will attack you if you get close. See how I'm doing on... Yeah, should be alright. Keep my torch lit even though I'm slower. I need to not freeze. I can just light a fire to warm up. Alright, there's the Stonehenge up there. Can't call it that though. Copyright infringement. The term Stonehenge is copyrighted. Might even be able to get in trouble just because it looks like it. But that's doubtful. Unless I become world famous and make $1 billion on the game. Okay, so I'm gonna go up there, but I'm gonna go, since I'm already over here, there's 2 other villages relatively close. I'm gonna go to one secluded village, another village that's near a mass burial site, and then I can take a little valley to go through where the meteor crater is. And then I'll come back, wind around, and go up to that Stonehenge area right there. And all those areas I mentioned, except for the meteor, which is pretty barren, just fallen over burnt trees. All the other villages in Stonehenge should have items that will keep me alive, unless I forgot and deleted them since. Might have enough stuff on me though, or if I have to beeline it back to the starter area or one of the villages, I might be able to make it in time. Got a little lost there, I could have taken a different route. I don't need it yet. You do get dehydrated faster when you run too, so that's It's not helping things. Alright, this area is a little more populated. Might even find some gourds here. I can't remember if I put lootable gourds. I know at least there's a workable well. There we go. Ah, yes. Sweet, sweet water. It's almost morning. Don't freeze so fast. Yes, we have loot. Yeah, I can carry quite a bit of stuff. Keep an eye out for the orange blossoms. Those are the lootable gourds. That stuff, don't really need those feathers, but they're really light. The spear, yes, the glorious spear. Don't know what I'm worried about though. All the there's no enemies out in this area. My only enemy is the environment, the weather, and my food, water source. I can just stay there. Really, I don't need to take that. There's spawn points all over the map. They're just not all activated. Just because I want to get the enemies working right. Right now I have 15 active Formicans roaming the map. Anytime I make a change on one, I have to make a change on all the others. Which doesn't take too long. I can, in a couple minutes, I can duplicate the script on all of them. Unless it's really extensive changes. But again, that's where I'm, going back to. There might be an easier way to set up a system where I just change one master parent blueprint and it changes all the others. But I haven't figured out an efficient way to do that yet. And keep all the mechanics that I want in the game. I think the arms should be in sync, yeah. Took me forever to figure out how to keep those in sync. The arms and the feet. Natural walking pace. The main culprit was crouching. When I'd crouch, shimmy like that, then when I'd stand up, you can kind of see that it jolts into resetting the animation. It's not too bad, but you can see a little bit of a hiccup. A lot better than it was though. Looks really odd when you're doing the bear walk. Right hand and right foot forward at the same time. Okay, I should just be able to haul ass for quite a while. Probably take a couple minutes to get up over the edge. And the frame rate is beautiful out here because there's nothing but a few trees. It's not so bad in the populated areas, but I can definitely tell it's smoother right now. I might have to change the LOD distance on that tree. I saw it flicker from a lower detail mesh. Oh, there's the two suns. They stay relative position next to each other and just go across the sky. the white sun rises and sets first. Yeah, I think I actually looked into that dissolving between the LEDs, but I could not figure out how to do it without a lot of manual ridiculousness. Oh, 1 second here. Hello? Hey, just a second. Alright, I gotta take a phone call, continue playing here, but I'll just mute my mic. Okay. Had to take that call. I almost ignored it. Almost. But my kids could have been in dire need of something. Alrighty. So I'm at the burial grounds monument site. Might not be apparent that that's what I mean it to be, but it's supposed to be a graveyard of sorts. Alright, just a second. Oh, okay. You guys can hear me now, right? Yes. What were you saying, Bart? Oh yeah, I used to do that a lot. Mute my mic and then like to burp or fart or something, and then I'd forget to turn it back on. I took the least populated route to get to this village, but there isn't much here but the smaller trees. No grass or plants. Did I even put... Yes, I did put stuff in here. Alright, I'm just gonna grab the food and the water. So I don't really need anything else for now. I could should... I know I'm going to leave something here that I kind of wish I would have brought. Hey, Gramps, how's it going, man? Really don't know why I have all 4 of those skulls. Totally forgot about those after that bug where it's either 2 or 4 spawned on one one enemy. Doesn't make much sense, but I'll just leave those there. I did write that down. That's one thing I'll fix. Either tonight or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. I think I'll stream Fallout tonight, and then... okay, I lied. I'm going to take spears and torches too. And then tomorrow, during the day, I'll fix all the bugs on the list I found today. Then I'll test stream again, and then maybe play Fallout or a different game at night. Try to get into that routine again, where I work on the game during the day, bug test it in the afternoon, and then stream another game at night. Yes, because you find you have to have the light map resolution high to get sharp tree shadows. Yeah. Man, I messed with the light map resolution a lot. But it seemed that the post-processing effects and the sun shadow effects on the sun itself, the dynamic shadow settings, had way more of an effect than any light map resolution would have. I actually couldn't find any way to affect anything with changing the light map resolution. Maybe it's because I just didn't know what the hell I was doing, or it just might be my situation, my project just might be more affected. I mean, I don't mean randomly. I'm sure there's a reason that I just am not understanding. But I think you know what I mean. You know, all the different settings you have in your world can, you know, one thing can relate to one project, but then not to another. I am completely lost in my own world here. Where I'm looking for the valley that goes to the meteor crater. Yes, it is, Gramps. Yeah, don't take my word for it though, Etienne. Your light map resolution might, you know, could be the key, but I'm guessing it's your the shadow distance mixed with the shadow quality. I can't remember the settings offhand. It's been quite a while since I've messed with the shadow system of this. Where the frack am I? And if I'm playing the packaged game right now too, so I can't just open the editor. Yeah. But if you catch me, if you still are having trouble with it and you catch me streaming someday when I have the editor open, just mention shadows and I'll show you how I set up mine. I think I got them pretty optimized and fairly decent looking. I can get them a lot sharper and a lot more distant, but then it really starts affecting frame rate. So right now they kind of fade from pretty fuzzy in the distance, but I have them, you can see shadows pretty far away. Then the closer you get, they get fairly sharp. Shimmy along just to look at the... It's not perfectly sharp shadow, but I didn't want it to be perfectly sharp. That kind of looked unnatural to me. The fact that I have a real-time moving sun that correlates with the shadows and the shadow's updating every frame tick, that greatly affects your performance too. I got kind of anal about figuring out how to get that to work though. Alright, now I know where I am. I need to learn how to navigate my own map and realize what direction I'm going by the time of day and where the sun is. I did add the survive time counter up here, and it correlates to the time of day too, so I know it's like military time's 1400 hours in the day, so it's about 2 in the afternoon. But jeez, I think I have it set at 25-hour days since it's a different planet. 25-hour days and different culture. I have it 100-minute hours, which is kind of an excuse to make it easier on my brain when I'm doing math and figuring out the day-night cycle and how time affects things. 100-minute hours is just easier. But I justify it by saying it's an alien planet, because it is. Same with the 25-hour days, too. Oh, that looks kind of cool. I haven't came through this way and seen this view in the game. I really like the way those mountains look. I recently put the snow on the mountains. Here's the valley I was looking for. It took me like 20 minutes to find out which area of the jungle I was in. Oh, nice, Edian. I might just call you Eddie, because I feel like I'm really butchering your name. Shadow bias is another thing that can drastically affect the way your shadows look too. I really feel like I should open up the editor before I talk more about it. There's a meteor crater and all the dead trees around it, because I'm probably misremembering anything I say about shadows and talking up my ass. E.T. Alright, perfect. Holy crap, how steep is this cliff? Oh, yikes. I'm gonna have to, I don't think I can get back up that. I'll have to make a kind of a rock stairway. There's other areas in the game that are steep like this, but they have rocks that you can jump back and forth to get up. This might kill me. Oh my goodness. No. No, oh japers. If this wasn't inclined enough to walk on, that might have killed me. Alright. That's good to know. Haven't tested that yet to see. You know, I can change it with the walkable angle settings in the character too, or I could walk right up a 90 degree wall. I think I have it set at 70 degrees right now. Anything above 70 degrees I can't walk up. So this will, in the future, will be all, you know, there'll be little trees and plants and stuff all around here. I just haven't got to that yet. I just wanted to work on modeling all the dead trees, which are basically, I just took the models that I had made of the other trees, stripped the leaves off them, and changed the texture. So that wasn't a big deal. You know, placing the trees is what took a lot of time. But I think it looks pretty cool. Only thing I have to do is put, oh crap, I forgot to cook that. I'll do that pretty soon. I have to put the grass around the landscape, but I'm not going to put much of anything else because it's kind of all been burnt and dead and renewed. And the first thing that grows back is grass. It'll kind of fit into the storyline of the game, where this is supposed to have happened about 7 years ago, which I could totally change. 7's kind of an arbitrary number other than it's in my Twitch name. But in the backstory of the game, this is where the the meteor that had the formicans inside of it crashed. Then little baby formicans came out and burrowed into the ground with their queen. And they grew and multiplied and took over the land. It's a good view with the lighting and the fog there. I like that. It all changes dynamically throughout the day and looks different from different positions, so every time I walk around I see something new. I didn't know before. I didn't realize that the mountain layers would look like that. I mean, I kind of wanted them to, but that worked out. The ambient fog is pretty nice built-in system with the Unreal Engine. You still have, there's a lot of stuff you can tweak to manually, you know, fit it to your game. But it's pretty nice just to drop in too. Ooh, those arrows are going all funky in my quiver. What is up with that? Dancing arrows. Huh. No idea why that's happening. Not sure if that's only happening because I'm in the packaged game. I don't think I've ever seen that happen in the editor. Alright, I was a little hungry, so I needed to cook that chicken. That should get my health up. There we go. Hey, Fish Pickles, how's it going, man? Yes, the Formicans. That's my term for the aliens. It's kind of a generic term, but I like it. Yeah, that's what Formican means, ant-like. It's been used in sci-fi for decades to label alien species that are ant-like, insect-like. There's the crater. Oh, there was that switch to blue light again. I have to fix that. I'm gonna note that down. I know exactly where to look, I just can't think of the term for it right now. Blue light, night, hard transition. Alright, just noting that down. Yeah, I can't remember the name of what that is. It might not be the actual... It's probably a timeline shift that I need to change. If I fall down there, I don't... Yeah, I should be able to get out right over there. But there's going to be a big old cracked meteor in the middle. Rocks all over the place. Maybe a little bit of grass growing in there. Some cool loot. Some stuff you have to go down in there to get to advance to the next spot. Yeah, Ender's Game, they're called the Formics. So the Formicans. Formics is actually a copyrighted term because of Ender's Game, but Formicans is a generic term that anyone can use without copyright infringement. It's basically like saying a mammal or a dog. It's just a term. But not widely used enough to seem as generic, I guess. Alright, might as well run. I get thirsty faster, but I should have enough water. I think I set all these to lootable. Let me test. Yep. And I should be able to get rocks here. Alright, good deal. So I can continue over the mountains that way. Or I could go up here. But there isn't much over there yet. It's just going to be barren trees without even any foliage. So I'm going to go up this way. And there's one little valley that I set up with stones as kind of a stairway. Gotta test how that works to make sure I can actually traverse it. This is the first time I've walked through here. Didn't even try to walk through it in the editor. To get a sense of the scale and stuff, I might be able to put... Can definitely put a lot smaller down trees here too. Seems a little bit bigger than I thought it would. Like that tree is freaking ginormous. There are some trees that big out there, but they don't make up the bulk of it. Be fun to climb that. See if I can. Probably fall and break a leg. Oh, yeah, it's too steep. Too steep right there. You actually can, with the way that I have the ramps and the fences set up right now, you can build basically a massive structure that you can climb up. But it's kind of hacky. But I'm going to add pieces that are meant for that. Ladders and staircases, raised platforms. Alright, here's the kind of ramp stairway I was talking about. Haven't been through here either. To check out the scale. Yeah, that's about right. Sometimes I'll grab a tree or something or a rock from the starting area and bring it over here quick. I mean, it doesn't take that long to move the spawn point of your character and playtest in the editor, but just hadn't done that yet. Alright, yeah, that looks pretty good. Running out of juice. Drink a little. Eat a little. Is that? Yeah, that gets my stamina up a little bit. Don't know why I took out stamina increase from drinking. I should have left that. I know it's hard to test now because I made the statistics go away when you hit tab. I should set a manual toggle for that, so if you want those up all the time. It's a little bit hard to visually test if the speed that the stamina decreases or increases at is working correctly. I mean, I know it is, but just to demonstrate it, when you walk, your stamina increases faster. Obviously, it depletes when you run. And your health, the health actually increases over time too. Slowly, and even slower when you run. So if you want to heal, it's best to walk around. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Formix is copyrighted by Orson Scott Card Fish. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. It doesn't link to my Facebook page? I don't know why. I haven't checked it in forever. It should, though. would it annoy me to get friend? You're mistaking me for someone that's really popular and famous fish. I think I've got 5 friend requests in my entire internet career. If I was popular enough to be annoyed by the amount of requests, I wouldn't be annoyed anymore, because popularity would trump it. It links to Threshold 7 a person? What do you mean? I do have 2 Facebook accounts. One is my real name, one is Threshold 7. So that's what it should link to. I did not deny you, Bart. Maybe I did. I might have unfriended you in a fit of drunken rage one night. That's probably annoying. If you're wondering what that is, it's an e-cig. I quit smoking a few months ago, and that thing keeps me from going nuts. Now I'm addicted to e-cigs. So here's one of the Stonehenges, and I'm pretty sure that I didn't populate this with loot. Oh, I did. Alright. Oh, no branches though. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I forgot to leave branches here. Ah, I have enough. Okay. So, same thing as the fire ring. If I put a fire in here, it will last 3 times as long. There we go. It's gonna warm me up. Oh, sorry, Bart. No, I didn't unfriend you, man. At the very least, I just didn't notice your friend request because I rarely go on Facebook. But I will more often now that I'm planning on streaming more. I just kind of took a vacation from the internet for a while, just to focus on the game. A little water. There's a bow. I think I already have 2 bows on me though. Yeah. I'm not going to need more than that. I don't want to get encumbered. We'll take the arrows though, then I can be a little more liberal with firing those suckers off and not caring about finding them. In the actual game, I want them to be more precious. So you'd really want to go find every arrow and retrieve it. Oh. Noticing a glitch. I can see the shadow of armor on my left arm. My shadow looks as if I have a gauntlet and a pauldron. But I do not. And that is supposed to be a torch. That's a torch shadow sticking out there. Looks like something else. A big old knob. That is weird. Should go away when I... Nope. Okay, the hammer and the hands came up. What the hell? There's something else weird there too. Oh, it's the shadow of the gauntlet just hovering on the left side of the shadow. Surprised I haven't noticed that yet. That's weird. Oh, then I had a floaty arm. What the hell? Oh, that's all screwed up. What the heck? I had recently changed the animation for knocking an arrow, and it made a bunch of things go buggy. That one arm just disappears, moves over to the side. What the hell? Alright, I gotta fix that. So that works. Except that arrow is not lined up like it should be. The way I have it set up, there's separate meshes. That shadow isn't coming off the mesh that you see. That shadow's coming off an invisible mesh that casts a shadow, but you can't see it. Or for various reasons. Alright. So, this is going to take me more than a day or two. I got quite a long list. I'll fix what I can tomorrow, though, and try my best to stream a little bit more tomorrow. But I don't think I'm going to be able to fix everything, especially with those shadow glitches. It's not game-breaking, but it's annoying, and I didn't even notice it until now. But from the other shadow glitches I've fixed, I know it's going to take a long time for me to fix those. So, not a priority, but it's really annoying. The first thing I'm going to fix is that arm that detaches. That's just weird. Alright, warm up. Alright, see you, Bart. Take care, man. How many torches did I make? Oh, it's because I looted all those huts. That's why. Tidy this up a little bit. Put similar things next to each other. Alright, good enough. I should repair the leather. Is extremely hard to get right now, but in a normal gameplay I wouldn't use that leather to repair this, but I'm going to right now. Just to make sure the repairing works. The leather strap. Oh, I need a hide. Yeah, if it's only like 80% damaged, you can repair it with just the strap, but once it gets to about 60 or 50, you need the actual hide to repair it too. Let's see. Oh, those jumpy arrows on the proxy character too, that's weird. That might... I used to have the proxy character used an Unreal Engine system called what is it called? Viewport Capture 3D, or 2D, Camera Capture 2D, Scene Capture 2D. There we go. Scene Capture 2D, where I basically had the three-dimensional proxy character up in space where you can't see him, and then I had a camera next to him. And I'd turn that camera on and off and project it on the inventory screen, basically with a translucent background, and that was my proxy character, and it worked fine, except there's some bugs in this version where in the packaged game it causes an extreme performance hit. So I don't know what the heck the deal with that is, but I couldn't fix it. I spent days trying to fix it, even though it worked perfect in the editor. Pretty sweet view of the floating mountain here. But how I ended up fixing it to get it to work in the packaged game, which I actually like better. I like the way that it looks better. Is there's actually a tiny little 3D model that teleports to in front of the camera. So if you were like third person standing by me, all of a sudden you'd see a little guy appear in front of my face. Which is fine for a first person game, but obviously that wouldn't work for third person. But you can set things so only you can see them and other people can't. I might run into some other issues that it causes. But the one thing, well, two things now, when you open up your inventory, it looks like he slides into place. Like he spawns and then slides a few inches. Which is kind of weird, but the Scene Capture 2D didn't do that. But them jumpy arrows, that never happened with the previous way that I did it. Anyway, a little insight on the background of how I've hacked a few things together. Which I have to admit that using teleporting an actual 3D model, tiny one in the space right in front of the camera is kind of a hacky way to do it. The proper way is the Scene Capture 2D, which I did, and it worked fine, but there's a bug where it doesn't work when you export the game, which is supposedly fixed, but I don't want to update the game engine because that can cause a huge amount of issues. I'll do that in the future when I have a lot of time to devote to just transferring the project to a new version of the engine. It could literally take months just to get this game running the way it is on a new version, because it's bound to break your game. So yeah, I'm going to fish. I'm gonna add a fatigue meter, a body weight meter, so you can get overweight or emaciated, and a mental health meter, which would be the sanity meter. Built a cable car that works with physics. Curious to see how that will hold up. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've been pretty lucky to have most everything work the way it should when I package the game. A few issues. The biggest issues were it just wouldn't package. The package would fail, but then you just check out the error log and warning messages. It gives you, in my case anyway, it led me right to the problem, and then I was able to easily fix it. But yeah, the biggest issue translating to the packaged game was the scene capture, the proxy character. So there's another Stonehenge-ish thing right down here too. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave these both in such close proximity. I might just completely remove the one from the ground. The one down here is the first one that I added. But then I decided to put it up on a hill, on that mountain. I don't know, we'll see. Might leave this, might take it away. Yeah, fish. I already have basically cannabis in the game. It would just take one little thing to smoke it. One animation, one command. I sneakily call it hemp. And it's used for making cord. These guys right here. Pick it up and then double click on it and it changes into cord, which automatically stacked right here. If I record, then double click on that, and it basically turns into a fat joint. Where'd it go? Up here. And that fat joint is a tinder bundle. You have to have the bow drill to light it. And once it's lit, it goes in your tool belt and it slowly burns. And as long as you have a burning joint in your inventory, you can light your torch and light any fire. That won't take durability off your bow drill then. So yeah, instead of, clicking the hotkey for the sword, brings up your sword and swinging it, you could put an animation where you can bring up the stogie and take a puff and add some bonus effects with maybe some ill effects after a cooldown. Maybe just the fact that it would drain your tinder bundle, your source of fire starter. It would drain it faster. Might be enough of a drawback to the bonuses that smoking it would give you. It'd be kind of fun to mess around with. Yeah, what's that, Vangler? Smoking a foot of hemp rope, yeah, exactly. Wouldn't quite work. It depends. You have to make a special infused hemp rope. Cause I could even go the, take it a step further and have it where you can select just the pink flowers. I don't know if I'm gonna go as far as 3D modeling big old buds, big old colas, but or conas, I mean. But I could have it where you could just take the flower off, use the flower for medicine, and use the rest of the plant to make the hemp fiber. I'm having a brain fart. I can't remember if it's a cola or a kona now. Is it Kola or Kona? Yeah, it is cola. Isn't that the first thing I said? I don't know. It's pretty funny. I haven't been immersed enough in the culture. It's been over a decade. Things change, man. Alright, now we're back into more decorated and populated area of the world. Hey, Martin, how's it going, man? Yeah, Bing. Try to link. I can't remember if I have links off or on. Oh, he's talking about cocoa leaves instead of coca leaves? I never saw that. I try to stay away from anything political. I just don't have time for that. I know it's important to some people. And if I was immortal and maybe wasn't such an asshole, I'd probably care more about politics, but I'm getting old, man. I ain't got time to deal with bullshit. Take care of my kids and have fun. That's about all the time I got left. Woe is me story, jeez. It's really not that bad. I hate politics. Always have my whole life. I'll quit being a whiny bitch. Going okay. Was lurking for a bit while playing some City Skylines. Cool. I haven't played that. Looks tempting, but I don't know. So many time sinks in the world. I've allowed myself to play some Fallout 4, which I think I might stream later. Do a permadeath run. See how far I can get. I can't get very far. I've played a little bit offline, and it's not long before I die. Yeah, No time for stupid people. Or argumentative people. I mean, I like a good debate with a friend over a couple beers. You know, talking stupid shit, but there's a big difference between a friendly debate and a argument. There's a fine line between the two. No, I haven't played any sim games for a long time. I played Sim City when I was a kid, like one of the originals. I think the original came out on PC, like in the early 90s. And then Nintendo. It's either Nintendo or Super. I think it was Super Nintendo. There was a console version of it. I mean, that was ages ago. And then I played one of the Sims games back in like 2000, I think, 2004. Got into that for a month or two. But I haven't played any Sims games since then. I like them. I just haven't. My attention's been taken by other games. Survival and RPGs is what really got me back into gaming. There's quite a few years where I didn't even touch a console or a computer. But then I started playing the Lord of the Rings online, and it was all over. That's why my wife hates me. It all comes back to Lord of the Rings online. Oh, that way goes back to the starting area. That goes to the kind of the second tier village. Then you go through that jungle, and then there's another stairway kind of like that goes up to the starting area. So if we go this way, go to the third tier village. I think, what is there, 6 or 7 villages? Yeah, depending if you count the main temple a village. But there's 3 main villages on the shortest route to the temple. Oh, it's a mod. I'm all talking about old school Sims games. You're talking about Fallout 4. No, I haven't. I haven't tried any Fallout mods. I just played it for like a month. Every day, all day when it came out. And I hadn't played it since until a few days ago. Once I don't remember what got me to look into it. But I just was like, hey, let's see what Fallout's... Oh, I think I was going through Steam. I just had the urge to play a game. I was going through Steam and I saw an update that said Fallout 4's survival mode has drastically changed. Way back when it first came out, survival mode didn't even have hunger or thirst or fatigue. I think the first stage of it was just that you did more damage, and so did enemies. And that might have been it. Maybe you couldn't save. I think the auto-saving and quick save was disabled in the first iteration of survival. I could be wrong though. You had to find a bed. But yeah, now it's a full-blown hunger and thirst and good and ill effects and fatigue. It's pretty sweet. I gotta start a fire here. It's kind of funny that I'm gonna start freezing during the day. I need to, change that. Maybe make it so it just doesn't get cold during the day, only the nights are cold. Right now it does get cold during the day, but it gets twice as cold at night. Your body temp goes down twice as fast at night. But I'll balance that in the future. So I just need a campfire enough to just warm up, and then I'm off. Yeah, that's a pretty cool fish. I might have to check that out. I do love the settlement building. Hello. Alright. Wife and kids just got home. I might take a break here. But what was I saying? Oh, the settlements in Fallout 4, yeah, that's a lot of fun. Most of the time I put into it when it came out was into building. I got fairly far, I think maybe at least halfway through the storyline. Had a ton of side quests done. I really don't know because I don't know what the end of the game is like. I've obviously heard the spoilers, but yeah, I think I got to what was it called, the Burning Sea. I joined the Brotherhood and then crossed that nasty radioactive sea, and I don't even remember what went on after that. Like why I went there. I don't know. That's about as far as I got. And I started playing other games. But in the new runs that I've been doing, this permadeath survival, I like it because it totally changes your whole playstyle. Still some settlement building, especially for the XP. Like now I just build stuff just to gain the XP. But after that, not much. Kind of a basic settlement. Just good enough and then move on. That's death down there. Big old valley. So this is the only way to cross here is this big old bridge, and I might have it blocked somehow. Maybe some crazy ass troll that you have to kill to get across it. But you have to like get special items to maybe lure it away into a trap. I think it's something crazy to happen, but I don't want this bridge to just be like, oh hey, bridge, let's cross it. Gotta be some kind of obstacle. Oh, that's cool fish. I'm gonna put away my knife so I can run faster. Whoop, accidentally got my hatchet out. Hello? Oh, that's right. Okay.
And then I'm gonna bring this outside.
Okay, you bring that outside.
Look at my hair, Daddy. Yeah.
You get a haircut?
Mine is like a wave.
Oh my gosh, it's blue.
A water wave.
You didn't notice that?
I just did. That's nuts.
Then I'm coloring his hair.
I lost my footsteps. I was talking to my kids there, sorry. Like wondering if I'm going crazy or not. That's odd. I can't hear my footsteps on this ground for some reason. And it should be the exact same. Yeah, something just broke my footsteps. Weird. I can still hear the jumping and the landing, but no footsteps. What caused that to bug out? It might have been the bridge. I have a line trace that senses the ground, and whether I'm on grassy, dirt or stone, it'll do a different step sound effect. I think the bridge bugged it out though. The line trace is like, what the hell is this? And it just broke it. So when I crossed the bridge, it didn't know what to do. So I got to grass. Let's see, just noting this down. And I think I am gonna log off here. I wanted to get up to the temple, but I forgot that the wife had wanted me to start the grill, make some burgers for the kids. So I'm gonna sign off here. This will be a good place to test the save system also. Simple as that. Hit save. And I'll actually test that before I go. There's no save slots yet. That's something I will add in the future. But right now, you just save it. It doesn't even tell you if it worked or not. Intro music here. Still writing down. Footsteps muted. Okay. And then to load the game, you just hit load. In the future, there will be slots. But right now, it just loads your last save. Hey, thanks, Fish. Yeah, I should be around later this afternoon, I think. Gonna go make supper for the kids and hang out for a bit, and I don't even know what time it is. It must be like 6 or 7 at least. Ah, there we go. Okay, I loaded back into the same spot. Bridge is over there. And I have all my shite. I don't think I was encumbered, though. Was I encumbered? I would have noticed that. Yep, something must have glitched out. Extra items must have popped into my inventory, maybe. Maybe my weight just didn't save right. That's gonna be tricky to test, because who knows? Who knows what it was? I wasn't paying enough attention. I mean, it could be fine too. The only thing is I don't remember being encumbered. I might have been though, and it was just those last bamboo branches that I picked up that were by those, or a gourd or something over here. It worked though. It didn't, like, you know, not load at all or a massive glitch. Just a couple pounds encumbered. Which I might have been anyway. I think the time stayed, yeah. It saved my time, 4 days, 4.5 days. Good. That is working. The stairs are all one color though. I need to change the LOD on those. I'm just gonna try. I really should just log off here. It could be an hour of screwing around. What do I want to drop? I don't want to drop anything. Such a hoarder. A bow. There we go. That's like one of the most precious items. I can't believe I just dropped that, but we're just testing. Oh yeah, I can hear the footsteps now. Yeah. Yeah, it must have had something to do with the bridge. I'll have to check that out. But here's what the steps are supposed to look like. They're all multicolored. Big old slabs. There's a random rock. If you run out of a hammer and you can't smash a rock to get a hammer, you can find stones. Oh, the collider. The collider is messed up. My footsteps are screwed up again on the stairs. They work in the rocks, but not the stairs. Alright. It's freaking out, the sound effect. It wants to reset, like, after every step I go over. So they work on the staircase in the starter area, which I didn't go to today, so I'll just go to that and compare and figure out why it's working on one and not the other. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna save it again, and tomorrow, after I fix some things, unless it breaks the save, which it shouldn't, I will start off here and make it all the way up across those little rope bridges to the main island and to the temple and explore the maze under the temple and keep looking for more bugs. Alright guys, thanks for hanging out. I will see ya later. Take care. Like I said, I'll be back in a couple hours probably, because I want to play a little Fallout. And then more of this tomorrow. Alright, bye-bye.